How's it going, guys? My name is Alex. I am a sex coach, and I just got back from a vacation in the beautiful St. Lucia in the Caribbean. It was nice, it was amazing, and it was a family trip, so it was my girlfriend's family, and it's this wedding gathering, and it got me thinking. How do you have sex discreetly if you are sharing a space, sharing a house with a bunch of people in your family? And, I'm not into incest, I'm not into having sexual interactions with family members, and so for me, it was how do you figure out where to have sex, when to have sex, how to have sex discreetly without your whole entire family knowing your dirty details and all of the crazy experimentation you are doing while on vacation. So if that sounds interesting to you, then let's begin. So the first thing you need to consider is the timing of your sex. So what I have found is that morning time or other odd times like the afternoon are the best times to have sex. The times that we kind of normally associate with having sex, later in the day, nighttime, that kind of stuff, those times are kind of off limits because people are already expecting sex to happen at that time, and so if they hear some noises going on, they're going to automatically assume, even if you're not having sex, but they're going to automatically assume and think like, oh, they're banging, they're doing this craziness. And if you don't want your family to know you're doing that, then you gotta change up the times. You have to have sex at odd times, have sex at times that maybe other people are busy, maybe they are out doing something. On the vacation, you have a little bit of alone time. Maybe the morning times I think are the best because people are usually kind of getting up, maybe they're eating breakfast or they're kind of off doing their own thing. Not many times on a vacation do people wake up all at the same time and then have breakfast at the same time. So you have this kind of like period in the morning where you have more opportunities because people are in different parts of the house. Some people may be sleeping, some people may be going and eating breakfast, some people may be on a walk or whatever it is, but timing is important. So have sex at odd times of the day, times that you wouldn't normally associate with sexual experiences. The second thing you should consider when trying to have discreet sex, if there are a lot of people around, is another thing that has to do with timing, and that is the speed of your sex. So oftentimes it's not realistic to have the 8-hour tantric sexual sessions that you would normally have on a day-to-day basis in your normal life. Now you really should be considering shorter sexual experiences where you can kind of pack a lot in a short amount of time. You gotta be kind of speedy because the more time you are spending having the sex, the more opportunity for people to hear it, to know what you're doing, to figure out what you're doing, or maybe they're thinking, I haven't seen this person in a while. I wonder what they're doing. Then they go down to your room, open your door, and you are hanging off your bed frame doing some crazy monkey sex in your room, and then you have scarred your family member for life. So not only in the first tip do you have to be aware of the timing of the sex when you are doing it in the day, but you also have to kind of crunch down the sex and do it in a short amount of time so that you're not just gone for long periods of time during the day and then you come out and you're all heavy breathing and everyone knows what you were doing during that time and they're like, well, they were banging and this is awkward now. Thing to consider number 3 is a pretty obvious one. It is how loud you are. This is your time to experiment with being pretty quiet. So if normally you're a loud moaner or you like to yell and you're dirty talking like crazy, now is your time to add some variety in the sex and do it a little bit quieter, more sensual maybe, more slow sex, and emotional sex. So just look at your partner and be really loving. Whisper in their ear this time instead of just flipping them over and calling them a dirty whore and spanking them and stuff like that you would normally do. Add some variety, make it a little bit more peaceful, a little slower, so that you're not, for one, making mechanical movements where the bed is slamming against the wall, but you're also not moaning super loudly, dirty talking or screaming or all that kind of stuff. So that one's a pretty obvious one, but another consideration that you should have if you're trying to be discreet in your sexual encounters. Fourth and final consideration is to maybe cut back on the amount of sex you're having. So I know this sucks and you want to bang all the time when you're on vacation, but if you really want to be discreet and you don't want people in your business and knowing what you're doing, then you might have to cut back a little bit and have sex every other day instead of every day, or maybe twice in the week instead of 3 times in the week, or whatever it is for you. Again, these tips are for people that are trying to be discreet because they don't want people in their business. So if you don't care about this stuff, then this video is not for you, and just do what you're doing. But for those of us that want to be a little bit more private, especially if you're with your family or something where it might be awkward if they hear what you're doing, then this is how you do it. So anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope those of you that wanted this information found it valuable, found it informative. If you want more advice on relationships and sex and all that kind of stuff from a professional sex coach like me, then consider subscribing. Check out my older videos, all of my videos, and until next time, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.